IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. Today's fun fact of the day has to do with fear. Did you know that fear is a very normal and healthy emotion? There are in fact a wide range of fears, starting from a mild feeling of anxiety right up to paralyzing fear. Many scientists believe that there is a fear threshold, beyond which you stop being afraid and start jumping into heroic action. Have you ever experienced this? 1 minute you're afraid, the next second you're in action mode. In fact, there are 4 actions we take in fear. The first action is freeze. This is when we see the fear and focus on it to plan the next steps. After which we choose either fight or flight, which means attack it head on or run away from it as fast as possible. The fourth fear-based action is fright. This is when we don't run or attack, we just do nothing. We are paralyzed. Can you think back to a time when this happened to you? How did you respond? For some fears, we default to attack. For other fears, we default to running away. As animals, we are programmed to have a response to fear. This is our survival mechanism. Because early humans who didn't have a fear response were easy game for lions and tigers. Those that were too scared would not venture out to find food. In today's day and age, we have lost our ability to listen to our fear response. I bet most of us don't know what response to fear feels like. We live safe lives. There are no tigers in the city or life-threatening events. At the most, our fears come from angry bosses or spouses. However, the animal within us needs to keep track of this fear response. We have to train ourselves to understand the fear and move beyond it, overcome it, fight it, survive it, and no longer be controlled by it. I thought of recording this episode because I periodically like to try and challenge my fears. My most recent attempt was through a grappling fight. I, for the last 6 months, have been learning a martial art called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or BJJ. So, I decided to enter a BJJ competition. As the competitors started filing in through the door, my fear and anxiety began to grow. These guys looked like professionals, and this was my first fight ever. For 4 hours, I watched fight after fight after fight, each more dramatic than the last. With each fight, my heart just kept beating faster and faster. Finally, my name was called out. My opponent, a seasoned fighter of 10 years with a massive weight advantage over me. We took our positions on the mat. I felt like I was going to throw up. Then the referee said, "Start." Complete peace. My brain stopped working. My body had gone into action mode. The fear had left me. I had tunnel vision and complete focus on the man trying to separate my head from my body. If you're expecting a true underdog story here, I'm sorry folks, that ain't what happened. I got my butt kicked. It was scary and hilarious at the same time. You can watch the whole fight on my Instagram page. The point I'm trying to make here is not to go pick a fight with someone just to see how you feel. Please do not get into a fight. The point I'm trying to make is to do those things that scare you. Get into the habit of facing your fears. Because once you do something so incredibly scary, you no longer fear all the small little ones. So your habit is to plan one event every month that will scare you. This could be as simple as making that phone call you've been avoiding, or asking that hot guy out on a date, or booking tickets to go scuba diving, or standing up on stage and talking to a room full of people, or telling someone you love them. I plan something scary every month just to teach myself how to respond to it. You can either plan it in advance or sit down on the first of every month to plan something. And remember, confronting your fear is not about doing something stupid. So please be safe and take care of yourself. For I want you around to listen to many more of the Habit Coach podcasts. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram.
भारतीय सिने इतिहास में महिलाओं की जगह तलाशता हमारा खास हिंदी पॉडकास्ट सिनेमाया। निर्देशिकाओं की फिल्मों, कहानियों और नजरिए को समझने की हमारी एक कोशिश। मैं हूं स्वाति बख्शी और मेरे साथ सुनिए सिनेमाया IVM पॉडकास्ट ऐप और ivmpodcast.com पर भी।
Look! Up in the internet! It's a meme! No! It's a cat video! No! It's the Geek Fruit Podcast!
That's right, we interrupt this riveting broadcast to tell you about our show, the Geek Fruit Podcast, where Tejas, Dinkar and I, Jishnu, talk about everything in pop culture, including DC, Marvel, Star Wars, Netflix and everything in between.
You know how your friends hate it when you ramble about some nerdy crap and you just want somebody to listen to you? Well, sorry, there's nothing we can do about that, but come listen to us ramble and it'll almost be like the real thing. Kind of.
Listen to new episodes of the Geek Fruit Podcast every Monday and the Geek Fruit Bulletin every Thursday on iTunes, Google Podcasts, the IVM app, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Happy listening, you nerds.